What's up? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to do some really cute sweater nail designs. So I'm going to use this long square nail tip that is from Nails Cat Cat, and this is my favorite brush that I use for any art. I'm going to use Nail Addict gel polishes, and I chose these three colors because they are really nice for fall and it's getting to that time of year. So let's get started. I'm going to use this first color and I'm going to do 2 coats on every nail, and then I'm going to use a matte top coat so that the designs can be matte and we have a really nice surface to work on for our design. Now, you can do a shiny background, totally optional to do matte, but most sweater nails are matte. I'm going to be using the Beetles brand matte top coat, and this is what it looks like with 2 coats. Just want to show you how rich and beautiful this color is. And let's do some artwork. Let's do the sweater design. So you'll notice here that the gel is pretty thick, and before starting any artwork, if you have a brush that hasn't had a lot of gel in it, it's going to be difficult to maneuver the brush. So this is me loading up the brush with gel. Even though I am just going to be using the tip of the brush, you still want to load up the entire brush. That's the secret to having a really flexible brush for you to do really nice artwork with. So I'm going to pick up some gel. So I already have the nail ready to go with the matte top coat on it, and I'm going to do 2 lines down the sides of the nail. So I use my pinky for balance, and then I let the brush do the work. You just slide it down. The more you try to control, the shakier the line is going to be and your hand's going to be. So just let the brush do the work for you and just make it as straight as you can. It's okay if you need to go over it another time, but just let the brush do the work for you. And if you're loading up the brush, as I mentioned previously, then you shouldn't have any problems with the brush being nice and flexible. Now, you can do multiple layers of the gel, especially if you want the 3D to be a little bit more 3D or thicker, but just 1 coat is more than enough. So I'm going to use my dotting tool, and on the sides of the nail, you can either do dots, how I'm doing here, or you can do little lines, as I'll do in the 3rd nail. So up to you, whatever you prefer. You can even do other shapes. It's going to be optional. And just make sure that you are doing them evenly spread apart. Now for the middle of the design, it's going to be up to you. I'm going to show you 3 very easy and simple designs that you can do that you don't need that much artisticness for. Very simple and easy to do. So let's finish this other side. And another thing you can do to get it as even as possible is alternate from one side to the other so that the dots are on the same exact spots. So let's do the center. So for this one, I'm gonna do kind of like the standard sweater nail design. So I'm gonna do a line, and then right below that line, but on the other side, I'm gonna do a line, and then I'm gonna connect them in a shape that is kind of like an S shape. So you couldn't see it on the first one, but you'll see it on the second one. So I'm just going over it just to make sure that I am making it as smooth as possible. So again, just doing a line, and then doing another line, and then connecting them kind of with like an S shape. It's really up to you if you want to make them a little bit closer, a little bit further apart, a little bit more squared off, more rounded, however you feel it's going to look the best. So I'm going to follow this design all throughout the center of the nail. And that is our first sweater nail. Very easy, beautiful design. It looks really nice with white as well. But I did choose these colors because they're more for the fall time. And you know, we're getting into these colder months, even though here it feels like it's still summer. It's still pretty warm, but I love warm weather too. I love all weather. So I'm going to finish off this design, and the trick to making the matte 3D is adding clear acrylic. Now, you can use any clear acrylic that you have. I use my leftover, so once I get to like a very small amount, I don't use it anymore, and I save it for instances like these where I need some powder. So in this case, I'm going to use the Not Polish Clear, and I have a very little bit amount left, as you can see, and I'm just going to trickle it over the nail or pour it over the nail very softly so that I don't spill it, and I try to keep the cap underneath so that way I don't throw away or lose a lot of product. And just put it under the lamp for at least 30 seconds. I didn't have my lamp when I did these, so I had to use my flash cure lamp that I use for when I do Gel X. So it was a little bit harder to do, but I didn't have my full-size nail lamp since I was letting my sister borrow my nail stuff. So anyway, I'm using a little makeup brush. This is like an eyeshadow brush, and I'm just dusting off the powder after I cured it. So don't forget to cure, or else everything will be destroyed if you don't cure it after this step or after the powder itself. Look how beautiful it looks. You can see the 3D-ness of it. You can see it. It's just so beautiful, and it adds just a nice touch to any fall or winter nail design. So let's do our next design. I'm going to use a really beautiful gel polish that is more of a caramel, more of a neutral color for this time of year. And again, I'm going to do 2 coats. I'm not prepping the nail because I don't really find it necessary when I'm just doing this for fun, and I'm not really doing it on a client or on myself. Either way, the nails that I have on now, the milky white with the French tip, I did not take off the shiny layer on the top, and I have no chipping, no lifting, so I don't know how necessary it is to file the top of the nail. I find that the polish is not chipping, so that might just be an extra step that we can cut out and save some time. Going back to the design, I am going to do the same thing. So I'm just doing some straight lines, and as you can see, I'm really just trying to let the brush do all of the work. I'm not trying to struggle and thinking, how am I going to do this straight line? You just follow through, just swipe down and have the brush work for you. So for this design, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the little dots on the side, and then we're going to do some hearts in the center. Now, hearts can be a little bit intimidating, but that's why we have this dotting tool. Since it's already round and the brush is more for line work, it's not for round shapes, just use your dotting tool, and you can use your brush if you need to, but I really like using the dotting tool for the hearts. It makes it really easy and pretty consistent as far as the shape of the hearts and the shape of the dots, rather than using your brush and trying to, get it right. It's just going to save you a lot of time and make your overall design look a lot better. So I'm just doing these little dots, and make sure you are just eyeballing where they go, so that way you have pretty consistent nails. And even if it's off just a bit, that's okay. We're gonna do the best we can with what we have, and we're gonna roll with it. So now I'm gonna show you how I do the heart. So I'm gonna use my dotting tool again, and I have the regular size, so not the super small size. And I'm gonna do 2 dots right next to each other. I'm gonna flip it over and use the smaller portion of the dotting tool and make a V shape, and that makes the little heart. So I think I did 4 hearts on this, and honestly the dotting tool was just so simple and just made it so easy. So this nail is slightly large, so this is going to be, for example, the length or the size of your thumb. So if you're doing, for example, your pinky, your pointer finger with this design, you want to make sure that you're allowing enough room in the center. So the 2 lines that we start off with at first, you can do those a little bit more far apart, and you might have less space to do the little dots, but just try to make it to where the center you actually have enough room for the design. So just keep that in mind. So another thing you can do is, I did all the design at once and then I put it under the powder and then under the light. You can do it step by step. You don't have to do it all at once if you're afraid that you might mess it up. If your gel polish isn't as thick, you can still do it, but you might need to just take it each step. You can put the powder and then cure it, wipe it off with the brush or dust it off, and then go back in with the other portion of the design. So however you feel comfortable, you don't have to do it all at once, because if you're new to doing gel designs, then you might smudge it. So you just have to be careful with your environment, you know, what you have around you, so you don't smudge it. So you can definitely take it step by step if needed. So again, I'm just repeating the process of putting some powder on the nail so that we have that 3D effect. And then I'm going to cure it under the light for a minimum of 30 seconds to make sure that everything is cured and nothing just slides off. You can also do this on a bare nail, like a color acrylic. You can also do that as well, and you can even do like a darker color on the design to make it stand out even more. But in this example, I'm doing the same color on top for the design and the same color the base for the gel. So you can change this design up as much as you want. You can even do glitter powder on top instead of the clear powder. Either way, it's gonna work and it's gonna look really cute. So it just really depends on the look you're going for. I really like this. It just looks 3D, and it's really easy to do. So I like this design, but you can also change the color, change the texture by adding the glitter instead of the matte powder. You can even do a shiny top coat on it if you don't like the matte look. Totally up to you. And Aries was just wanting to be loved and wanting me to pay attention to him, so I thought I would include him in this video. He's really cute. He's almost 7 months old, and he just wanted to say hello. And as you can see, it looks like he has 2 different color eyes, but he had a foxtail stuck in his eye, so it got a little bit damaged, unfortunately, but he's happy. He's a trooper. But he's just so cute, and I wanted you guys to see his little face. He is just an adorable little squishy monster. And he has cute little paws. Anyway, okay, let's get back to the video. I just love him so much. Okay, let's get back to the video. Any second now. I want you guys to meet all of my cats. I have 10 of them. So I'll have to do a video introducing you guys to them. If you're a cat parent or if you're a cat lover, you might appreciate their cuteness. But yeah, I'll have to do a video for you guys to see all of them. 4 girls, 6 boys. They're so cute. And once he gets a little bit older, we're probably going to transition him to be an indoor cat, since they're mostly outdoor. I let them in sometimes. But anyway, let's do the last and not least fall design sweater now. So for this color, I actually did 3 coats of it because, as you can see, it's pretty sheer. You can leave it sheer, totally up to you, but I wanted a little bit more opacity with this, so you can see this is what it looks like with 3 coats and the matte top coat. So let's go ahead and repeat all of the steps. So we're going to do the 2 lines on the side, and with this color it was a little bit harder to see, so hopefully you don't have issues seeing what I'm doing. It shouldn't be too hard to see given that it's matte against shiny. So you're going to do 2 lines on the side, and on the side of the nails, instead of doing the dots, I'm going to do some lines. So you can do like little triangles, you can do little squares, you can do little hearts, totally up to you. This is just going to be like the easiest, simplest way to do the sweater design, but you can really get as creative as you'd like. You can just, and if you don't know, if you want to do something a little bit different but you don't know exactly what to do, just look up crochet sweater patterns, and there's tons of sweater patterns that you can copy and put onto a nail. Just choose your favorite color and copy the same design on the nail, which is super cute. So here I'm going to do some lines, and I'm just going in with my brush and just doing some slanted lines. And I wanted to do the slanted lines just in case you wanted to see what it looks like instead of the dots. I personally like the dots more. It just kind of gives it just kind of a cuter look for some reason. I really like the dots, but just in case if you like the lines more, this is going to be what it looks like. So I'm going to do lines on the other side, but in the opposite way. And I'm just going to run through it really quickly. You don't need too much product on the brush, just because if your gel isn't super thick, it can get runny. So you really just want to, use the least amount, so that way it actually cures as well underneath all of the powder. So just keep that in mind as well. So for the center of this design, I'm going to do kind of like a swirl, kind of like a mixed swirl kind of design. So again, just loading up some product on the brush, and then I'm going to do straight line and then swirl it side to side to side. And then on the other side of the nail, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go over it one more time just to make it a little bit more opaque and thicker. And then just do the same thing on the other side, but we're going to make it opposite. So side, side, and side. Super easy and really cute. I really like this design. But I think that my favorite is the one with the hearts in the center. I just love it. I think it's really cute and really just cozy looking. Cozy looking sweater nails. So now I'm going to do the powder again, and hopefully you'll be able to see this one. This one was a little bit harder to see at the end, but hopefully you can see while I am dropping the powder on what the design actually looks like. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if this was helpful, and let me know if you are going to be doing some fall nails or some winter nails that have the sweater themed. I would love to hear your thoughts and any recommendations on any future videos. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Look how beautiful these look. Let me know which one's your favorite. Bye.